The Kia Sportage inspires attention.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Oh, I think we've done a thing. Hello, good evening, and welcome back to Jackocar. It is the Kia series. We're starting finally, and you're joining me, Gareth Hall, in the commentary box, to be joined by the man that's just unmuted his mic after a 10-minute wait. It's Yuri Hasselager, back for a third season in the box. How you doing, Yuri? Yeah, I'm being nice, and as you can see, yeah, we've got some things. Here's some things for you. Look, here's the format. This is for you that have never watched Jackocar before. This is the mess that we get ourselves into. So yeah, welcome to everyone. This is the Kia Series, the second tier of Jackocar. Of course, you can catch up with the Cup Series on every Thursday evening at 7 PM for the next three months or so. It is a mandatory two-stop and hybrid F1 league. You see sim damage. It's a hot lap qualification where everyone gets one in lap to set multiplayer cars over a regular season and a playoffs with a Championship 5, which all the drivers are heading for. You've got dynamic weathers, stage points, and win, and you are into the next round. So if you win during the regular season, you're into the playoffs. If you win in the playoffs, you're heading to Championship 5. And there are your points on the left and your playoff points on the right. We've got, supposedly, a full grid over the season. We're yet to be seen, since we've only got 15 of them in the group at the moment, but we will have, I'm sure, plenty coming out. And where is the calendar? There it is for you. So plenty of races coming up. It's Monaco at night to kick us off, which we're going to be it's going to be an absolute dream. And of course, ending up on the 28th of May in Italy. But it is tonight. It's Monaco. It's a 2.7 kilometre circuit, 39 laps for these guys. It was last raced in round 10 of season 6. Pole there was at 11.9255, and it was Waste that won it on his Joker. And well, let's take you into the action, because we've now got cars out on circuit.
Strong, and I'm expecting a full 15 car finish rate. If I Monaco during the season opener and the night race, I'm going to be hugely disappointed by each and every single sucker of you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be a real season of ups and downs. I'm expecting plenty more downs than ups. Of course, this is the Kia calendar, but we are seeing 2 rookies out on circuit first, and well, that's going to be a username to avoid, isn't it? Xlepmafunky. I mean, that sounds like something that's just been user generated, but that's Yuri. We already talked about the livery. Take us around here, the first flying lap for the Kia series.
I do love a nice awkward username, as he got slightly held up by Jake, who's a returning driver. Expected a little bit better from Jake, but yeah, through the hairpin, where Jacko once was supposed to have holiday, but he didn't manage to get there, which, rightfully so. You shouldn't want scum in Monaco. Through the tunnel as we go towards the first of the chicanes, where you want to clip the, no, well, don't clip the barrier, but clip the winner's left rear. Got away with it relatively fair. Through to back in towards swimming pool. If you mess this up, you're well, in for a ride. I've been called by Jacko. I'm gonna ignore him because I'm a professional and I'm on commentary duty. Into the final corner, open the DRS on along to the main train, and this is gonna set the benchmark for the rest of the field. What's Florian gonna do? At 12.4.
And I'm getting calls in the comments to turn, or that you need to be turning your mic up. So
yeah, I've just seen Jack's messages, so I'll be upping the sensitivity of the Discord thing, because obviously we're on Discord now.
I know, it's a new thing for us, so there will be teething issues. So if any of you crying in the comments, it's going to take some time. Get over it. This is the best that Kia's ever had and probably will ever get. Of course, 2 more seasons left to go until this absolute god-awful league is finally binned off. And, well...
So let me try. Is this any better?
Geez, I mean, it's certainly... It might be better for them. I don't know if it's going to be any better for me, because I can hear you at 200% of what I could do before, because before you were perfect. So,
Just waiting for Jacko to fly.
yeah, now you sound like you're literally standing directly behind me, so even better. So Daniel P. Wiener, another rookie in the league, a 12.663. He is out there. I actually want to, I'm going to make sure that I tune in, because we've got Jake returning to the league. Good to see Jake back. He's finally decided that the medium traction isn't too scary after all, and he's coming into Monaco fresh as a daisy, I'm sure, with a very colourful livery. Always do like the colourful liveries. I've got a treat for you all in a second, because as Jake completes his 12.959, we have got Kaya out on circuit, and I'm just gonna let things roll for now. We can just chat away, because I will take you on board with Mr. Langston very, very shortly, because this is the first time that he's driven at Monaco, I think, since I can remember, and we really want to get a proper on board lap with him. So let's go on board with Kaya now for his lap. I mean, tell us a little bit more, because we know Kaya loves this circuit, and he's making his way up through the casino square now, and you can really see him wrestling the car. And as he makes his way down now through to Mirabeau, I mean, Yuri, the skill that goes into this lap is incredible, isn't it? Yeah, it's unbelievable. You wouldn't think that Kaya, of course, missing so many times here at Monaco, can get himself back in. Of course, coming through the chicane, just absolutely hopping over the Novo chicane, into the back, flat left-hander, making sure you keep it as close to the wall as possible, shifting down. He's the only one on the grid with a manual shifter inside that car. That's how old school he is. In through the exit of the swimming pool chicane, and look at him just kissing the barrier on either side. It's absolutely fantastic stuff from him. And a little bit of traffic up in front of him, but you won't need to worry about that because this is Kyle Langston, and he is an absolute pro, absolutely flooring it to the line. And Kaya with a 1:22.925 is the slowest of all. But yeah, a great lap there from him. And now over to the man Scott Hayes, who is rejoining us, who had an absolutely torrid time here in Monaco last time around. But we'll see if it can be any better this time for him as he comes down towards the Novo chicane.
Yeah, see, my memory doesn't serve me that right.
Let's. Yeah, no, it's just no. If you want to, guys, if you want to go back and watch his quality lap again, I can. Or we can go and replay it. It's fine because we'll ignore the fact that he's just binned it on the exit of the Grand Hotel Hairpin.
Jacko's favourite holiday destination. Sorry. Scott is more into Formula Drift apparently, and again, as he exits the final corner at the DRS Open and goes towards the line, it has to be pole position by a long shot because Scott is that good of a driver. Oh, never mind.
Superb work there. Is Marco Schneider running the Racing Point livery almost perfectly as he's decided to start his lap here, and Marco into what his fourth season in the Kia series, I think fourth season is around then. He's getting up there. Looking to kick on this season, I'd imagine, and he's not going to do it by doing that, unless his plan is to literally kick the marshals waiting on the outside. As you can see, there was a little bit of smoke being kicked up from the car in front. I think that might be for OKK, who's out on his early lap, and there's the carcass of the ex Kyle Langston, and into the Portier for McShoe47, otherwise known as Marco Schneider, and Marco making his way through the tunnel, all aiming, these guys, for around about the 11s would be a competitive lap time for the Kia drivers, as OKK just getting out of the way for Marco as he comes around the corner, as in through the swimming pool. Getting off the throttle was big time, is there? Some of these guys, of course, maybe a little bit rusty, haven't played the game in a while, so opening up the calendar with Monaco was of course, the fairest thing that we could have done. And up to the line, what can Marco do? It's going to be a sort of 16 we're looking at. It's a 15.894, and somehow puts him provisionally on the second row of the grid. Double OKK up next for you, Yuri.
Well, I might as well say anything that I ever want today, because apparently no one can hear me. So, Michael, you're the worst driver of them all. It's a disgrace that you're in the Kia series, and you shouldn't be. You should be winning a cup.
I've just turned you up to like, I've turned you up on my Discord to 150. So if that you were on 100. So not only were you loud by you turning yourself up, you're now even louder. So we're now on about 300% coming through my headphones.
I have no idea whether it's coming through. You might have done something wrong in the settings on OBS, whether I'm not coming through or so. I don't know.
I mean, they're no different to what I had before, and it was all working when I tried this out for 2 accounts.
Oh, shit.
Ah!
Shit. I've been outed.
So,
I've been up on the wrong point.
right,
I've been outed.
right, yeah, clearly. Right, OKK making his way around into the final few corners and through the Rascas and into Anthony Noakes, the final corner here. And, he's going to clatter the inside curve there. He's got away with it a little bit, as OKK is probably going to do around about 13, 14, we're looking at 14.223, and that puts him provisionally into fourth position. Harry Collier making his way through the swim pool now, and he's coming into the Rascas. Up through Anthony Noakes, take the right-hander, take as much inside as you can, use a little bit of the outside, up to the line. This is going to be a decent lap from Harry. It's going to currently put him P4. It's another 13. We've got these are the midfield guys. Come on, you should be doing faster than 13s. As Liam New, what can Evil Dragon do out on circuit? As coming in as, and this is unbelievable to say, you've got to think Liam is actually potentially one of the championship protagonists after his exploits. I mean, not the exploits you're thinking of, but his exploits throughout the end of the last season when he rejoined the league. Please clear your throat louder. I mean, honestly, that is uncomfortable how loud you are in my ears right now, and the fact that no one can hear you is even worse.
Listen, Buzza, who is going through the tunnel right now in towards the Noble Chicane.
He is indeed into Nouvelle Chicane and exits quite nicely. Buzzer running a Christmas themed livery. I actually quite like this. It's almost
That's nice.
yeah, it's almost what old Jaguar-esque, isn't it? With that sort of nice British racing green, a little bit of the chrome red as well in it as well. So not don't mind this one at all. And in through the final corner does come Bazza. It's not a great lap time, so he's obviously had something go wrong in the early stages, and so it's up to the line, 7th position for him. A baptism of fire for the Welshman to start the season. Dustin Rolko running a McLaren IndyCar livery by the looks of it. He's running another one, running an orange and black livery. They're becoming more and more popular, these orange and black liveries, as Dustin in through the swimming pool now. There's 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the session. And, well, what can Dustin do? He's currently tracking to do around about a 12 or a 13. Depends on how much he can gun out to the line here. It's going to be a 13.639, and that currently puts him P5. So at the moment, our two rookies are still leading the way. So what can the Dutch torpedo Rico do?
Looks to be a nice lap. I didn't pay attention to any kind of the lap times, seeing as I don't care about lap times. Because they're all trash anyway. Nice on the exit, full throttle towards the line. What's Rico gonna do? P8 nearly takes out Lesty, I think. No, Jacko was actually in the pits. Should have taken him out.
Yeah. Good have done. There's Matt Shepherd out on circuit now, coming through to back and running a very nice livery. I do like a green livery, so if anyone wants to go out there, greens, pinks, and yellows tend to be all particular. I mean, ideally all together. That's always the best way to go. Shep's got a little bit of traffic up in front, but it looks like it's not going to hurt him too much. This is a decent lap time for the one-time winner, of course, winner last season, and it is provisionally front row by 0.2 of a second. He jumps ahead of Dan by, what's that, 400ths of a second. We have got the man that was in, that was out, that was in, that was out for this race. It's Robin Border, and Rageman32 is in, and he is our joker tonight. So he is our one joker that's making a single stop throughout the entirety of this race. Yep, I thought it was ambitious as well, but we'll see what Robin can do. Is he confident enough to go these 39 laps with all four wheels attached and both end plates, which is he's going to have to do a pretty good lap here. If he can get to the front, that's even better. Is it, Pole? Yes, it is. There we go. An 11.705. I can't speak. 11.750. There we go.
I'm very happy I'm not the only one struggling here.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway, on to Jess, as what I think is the best livery of the grid. I'm not sure what you think about it. Agree with me, then you're wrong. But I think that this is the best looking livery.
no, I do actually agree with you. Is that this is this? I do like the fact that Jess has deviated from the. I wasn't a massive fan of just the purple and the yellow splodges that she did previously. Yeah, so this one, yeah, big fan of this. A lot of colour, a lot of changes of direction. I like a lot of changes of direction on a livery, and yeah, so this one is up there. Jess putting herself into P7, leaving one man who has invalidated his lap.
Nice. Go so we can skip it. No action for.
No, straight off. Bye. Matt Lester is the man that finished third in the championship last season, of course, behind Waste Cooper and Danny Quinn, and so comes in surely as the number one red hot favourite, except for not expecting anything from him because he's a complete bottle. But what can Leslie do? Yuri, shout your way across this one whilst I'm trying to work out how to turn you up my end.
Sick, I can do an entire lap. Wow. Okay then. Lesty, through turn one, I've got no track map open, so you have to bear with me as I count all the corners. As we go towards Casino Square, hooks the inside curb really nicely, and then on the right side he leaves some room for margin, but that's fine. See, going to be the quickest anyway. He hugs the wall a bit too much there on the inside as we go towards the hairpin, where he leaves a lot of margin again. Might not be pole, and we might see a Ryan pole and a rookie on the front row in towards the tunnel as we have a little bit of time to breathe and see what he's doing. You want to try and again be as close as you can to the orange barrier, which is really nice, over the curb as well. Traffic on the left, which is Jacko. We don't like Jacko, so we'll quickly skip that in towards the buck, where he leaves a lot of error, a lot of room for error. He's really safe on his lap here, Lesty is. As we go in towards the final couple of corners, he's a lot easier on the throttle, a lot less wheel spin than we've seen from some other drivers, like Dustin, for example. Towards the line is most definitely not pole. It is P5 if I saw it correctly, 7th even.
No, P7. P7.
Imagine being a favorite and scoring 7th.
Yeah. So
he was talking so much shit in the party, in the chat earlier this week.
Yeah, I know. Funny, isn't it?
Put your money where your mouth is.
So there is Robin Border that takes pole position at 11.7, is pole almost 7/10 of a second faster than Funky in P2. Matt Shepherd, great P3 for him. Daniel P went up in P4. Jake Warrior on his return in P5. Harry Collier P6, ahead of Lesty, which shows you how bad of a lap that was for Lesty. Jess is P8 with Fozzie and Evil is in the top 10. Then we've got OKK, Rico, Bazza, Marco, Scott. Kaya has outqualified Jacko. And whilst you process that, I'm going to take a quick break and send you to an ad, and I'm going to try and sort out the audio issue.
Ooh, ads.
It's decision day in the Premier League, and the fans will certainly be feeling the nerves.
A magnificent morning at Lord's for the first day of the series, and already this place fizzes with anticipation.
Can Europe pull off a miracle on the final day at Medina?
And we are ready for the title decider. It's lights out and away we go.
It's got to be finished, and it is finished!
That is one of the great Lions test tries.
And Klitschko is somehow trying to survive, but Anthony Joshua topples him again. Manchester United have done all they can. That Rooney goal was enough for the 3 points. Manchester City are still alive here. Balotelli, Aguero! I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again. Indeed it is. Maintain the lead as Shep jumped into P2. I was looking at Kaya, as I always do, and yeah, it was surprisingly clean through turn 1. Not gonna lie. This is above Kia Series standards. I'm kind of disappointed. At least we're like super professional about all of this, and we did many trial runs to get everything sorted.
Well, there we go. Audio issues that we're trying to fix, but the you've got Rageman from Matt Shepherd, from Funky, from Dan. It's been a semi serene start so far.
Yeah, you know, on the one side there's something completely Kia Series-esque, which field spread already happening, and the other still green, which is not Kia Series-esque. So
I wonder if
Making improvements, I guess.
do let me know if anyone's watching along if that's any better. I have moved a level up just to see if that makes any difference with Yuri's audio.
If it helps, I can also put the microphone inside my mouth.
No, I mean, this is how it's not fair. Is that I can hear him as if he's literally standing on top of me,
Screaming in your ear.
yeah. So that's great.
Yeah.
But
I can speak up if you want.
no. I mean, that's worse. Even when you can be heard normally. But well, I'm trying to kind of watch for anything happening. But apart from the fact that that Baz has dropped 4.6 seconds off the back, and I don't think he's got any damage, but he's just kind of dropped off the back of the pack already. So we will try and move, sort of, let's go in with Lesty. Lesty currently sitting behind Harry Collier, as got caught out massively at the start of this one by the fact that I completely forgot that we didn't have a formation lap. I imagine I'll be get caught out that on Thursday as well. To me, the formation lap's fine, and Jacko's just being overly cautious. And I mean, this isn't even his, not even his tier.
There's just a couple of twats who treat the formation lap as the first lap of the race.
As,
I guess that's why.
Yeah, I know, evidently so. So tyres up for everyone, as we've got Rageman and Shep on the softs. Funky's gone for the hards. Mediums, a very early pit stop off of the hards there. And
That's a good call.
yeah, so coming in, of course, this year, lap 3, or the end of lap 3, you can make your first stop of mandatory 2. Of course, only your leader is the man that can make one stop tonight. So Robin on his way, 2 seconds is the advantage. And behind, everyone else having to complete 2, which have already seen one done by Funky, one done by Rico Wasabi, and Mikshu, otherwise known as Marco, has completed one as well, on to a set of softs for him.
Yeah, I was already looking at Florian and wondering why he was on a set of hards, but this kind of, I guess he's just going to do a hard, medium, soft, or hard, medium, medium. It leaves him open to a lot of possibilities now. Seeing as the medium tire will do more than half the race without any question. So that is simple. It's soft for Marco, which is interesting, but well, he'll probably have a theory behind that as we settle into a bit of a race. There's trains forming and there is massive field spread already. So yes, guys, we're fully back.
Kia's back, isn't it? As that lead is extending a little bit at the front, as Fozzie still sitting by Leslie as well. As into the box comes Liam off of those medium tyres. Not quite sure why you'd start on mediums to get rid of them early. You'd think you'd kind of want to hold on to a set of mediums that maybe would be a little bit more useful if we have a safety car later on in the race.
It's so smart, because if there's in the final stages of the races, there's many safety cars behind each other. You have the fresh tires to charge and attack and use those tires to their full advantage, because it's so easy to overtake.
Exactly. Yeah. No, you definitely want to have all your stuffs loaded up until the end of the race, don't you? Because as proven by other leagues recently, it is a fantastic race to watch people attempt to overtake, and watching Kia around here will be even better, as Lesty still trying to close in on Harry. I imagine these two are in the same party as each other. Lesty will have his crap house music playing in the background, and Harry will probably be having to deal with it.
I'd happily be in a party with Lesty come race day.
I mean, well, to be fair, being in our party on a Thursday night, I have to listen to crap music on my formation, my quali lap every single week.
Listen,
sabotage
is amazing.
Absolutely sabotaged by my own team. They know that I'm the threat, and what do? Just try and get in my way time after time after time. Harry now closing in on Jake, who's dropped 3 seconds off the pack. So you've got to think that Harry might be a little bit quicker than Jake at this point, but he's used quite a hefty amount of battery. And there is Liam New, and there is a VSC to start with. Will that upgrade?
Interesting. I don't think so.
No, it doesn't look like it, does it? So Liam out at the exit of the swimming pool chicane as Marco just disappears past the carcass of Liam's tyre. So I think we will go back green shortly because that car has disappeared. I don't think
No, it'll be
we're going to upgrade.
a couple of seconds.
And as Marco takes a pit stop, this isn't a mandatory, so he's done one mandatory. This is a set of hard tyres to get him to the second stage. So I mean, it's a pit stop under the VSC, so it is beneficial. But he is pushing at the moment because Rageman is not far behind. If you go a lap down, that is effectively your race over. So Marco's going to have to get on it now, but unfortunately, he's going to have to do that on hard tyres, which is not ideal. As he in fact kicks the rear end out, probably gets a warning for crossing the pit lane exit, the famous Pete corner, as we've seen Funky clearing Kaya there. So Kaya getting overtaken by one, and will Rico, as Kaya's going to surely do a Kaya and try and back off and let people through. He's trying, you can see he's trying. Kaya, just wait until the straight. This is pure cinema here you're watching, as the man driving on a keyboard goes to the outside. Oh. Should we just go back and watch the clip? What are we doing here, Kaya?
No.
What are we doing?
No. I can see a Verstappen Grosjean.
What are we doing?
Happening.
Oh, he's going for it. God, Rico. This is like watching Trulli and Button back in 2000. What was it? 2004.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Here we go, down the inside. Is he going to send it? Is he close enough? Yes, he is. Kai's going to cut him off. What a battle this is in the early races here in Kia.
I can't believe... there we are. The torpedo goes for it.
A fantastically clean move that he's executed, and all he's done is lose 5.7 seconds to the car in front in the process. But never mind, as Mick Schumacher he's still holding on to it, as Marco's still holding on to being on the lead lap, as Dustin now closing in on Jake. So the German on the man from Barnsley. It's the worst date you've ever heard, but you've got Dustin really pushing now on those soft tyres, and the medium should be a much nicer window. The softs don't tend to last much longer than sort of 6 to 9 laps around here. That's really the window before they start to really just completely fall apart. So Fozzie doing a good job at the moment to hold on to it. Jacko on his hard tyres is now 9.5 seconds back, and that is not the race pace of a champion, down in 7th position.
It's also not the race pace of someone who claims to love Monaco. So yeah.
A man that claims to not only love Monaco, but that almost went to it once.
Yeah, he was so close, but you know, Jacko and I don't know about you, but Jacko and I at least, we are equal in the amount of times we visited Monaco. Or stayed the night at Monaco. So, you know.
And, well...
do with that information what you will.
Yeah, true. I mean, yeah, we've all... I mean, the majority of us have actually done as many nights in Monaco as Jacko has, and we didn't pay thousands of pounds for it.
Ouch. Wow. True, though.
I mean, that's a clatter into the wall for Fozzie there. But I'm gonna give him grief because we get to do one race here and then we take a week off so that Jacko can have a holiday for a week. 'Cause God forbid he do more than 1 week in the country at a time.
I know, right?
But yeah, Fozzie losing around about half a second there after clattering the wall. The gap at the front is now 3.5 seconds. So Rageman, Robin Border doing a good job as Rico's cleared OKK. In fact, they're side by side going up the hill. This has got tears written all over it. They're still side by side, but OKK does let him go on the hard rubber. As OKK is just, I mean, everyone's willing him to snap out of whatever's happened to him in the last year or so and get back into that race winning contention we know that he can do, especially down here in Kia. I think it's the ART effect, isn't it? It's the
No.
it's
It's the Aston Martin effect.
yeah, you think
Like, Michael joined Aston Martin and he's like off the pace. He's still trying. Matt joined Aston Martin, he's like, nah, fuck this shit, I'm out. He couldn't hack it. Both. Michael is at least trying.
Yeah, I suppose so. As we've got into the box, does come Dustin. So onto a set of mediums for him, and I cannot believe we're in a Kia series, and with 10 laps in, we've already got field spread like we do. I mean, they might as well all be driving in TT. With, I mean, we've got
And then tell us the fastest laps they do each lap.
yeah, we'll just do it like that. That would be a much more. I mean, who on earth came up with this calendar of having Monaco first for?
I know. Disgraceful.
Go on, Jess. Scott's rubbish. You can just send it on him. I know you guys have missed me. As
You?
and I've missed you.
Us?
And but they can't hear you unless they can. I've turned you up in every single possible way. So if you are watching along and you can now hear Yuri, let us know. If you can't, then I mean it's Dutch internet problems, and we'll blame it on that. But
Of course. If you can, I'm sorry for you. If you can't, then yay.
and we've got Newgarden's watching on. And he doesn't like your Aston Martin slander. He's already called.
know.
Fernando's going to
Yeah.
come round to your house and
Oh, please.
oh,
Please.
yeah, I know. I'll put him out of his misery. Put him in a old people's home where he should be.
Fernando Alonso wouldn't last a day in the Netherlands. Neither would Florian apparently last a day in Monaco because he just tapped the wall.
Yeah, as Florian, one of our rookies, of course, and sitting directly behind Jess, getting a view of Scott disappearing into the pit lane and picking up a 5-second time penalty for doing so. One of the slowest pit lanes, not only on the calendar, but in motorsports in general. You come out of the corner at around about 30 miles an hour, and the pit lane is around about 30 miles an hour. So to speed into it is impressive. But Florian Mayer, one of our rookies, is now sitting P9 behind Jess, and there is a yellow flag, and it is for Mr. Langston, who is still circulating. I mean, let's watch this masterful wheel work. There is he's clattered one wall, clattered two wall, and clattered three walls. And where's the fourth? We're going to get four in a second. Waiting for it. There, ooh, almost. Don't worry. I'm not going to watch anything else because this is far more entertaining. So do join us as he pulls into the pit lane and brings out a yellow flag. But Kaya, welcome back to the Kia series. I'm so glad you've managed to brave Monaco for the first time in I think 4 seasons. You've claimed you're busy every time, but I mean, let's. What do you say? Let's just. Should we just make ourselves feel better? Let's just do this. Everyone just close your eyes. We'll just pretend this is what's happening. Just.
I really wish I could shout over you saying, this guy is moving on that guy, but nothing's happening.
Oh no, I could be on this. I could keep this up. I could put up the entire race, and I would be happy in the knowledge that nothing else was happening on circuit. All saying that, let's cut back to Jacko, who is currently circulating. Has he got a front wing? Because he's been driving like he hasn't. Apparently he does. He got overtaken by Matt Shepherd. He skipped over the chicane, and he's now lost 2.5 seconds to Shep in the process. So Jacko on the hard tyres is definitely trying to make this strategy work. Don't know what strategy it is, but he's trying to make it work. Let's go back to that battle that was Jess, Florian, and Dustin, as that's now being joined by Rico, which should terrify everyone in front of them.
Yeah, Jess has legged it. Jess was like, I had enough of it as Dustin takes the inside. I think it's being a bit led by oh, dude, come on. I think it was a bit led by Florian, and then because they were quite close behind each other for a couple of laps, and Florian has 6 laps, all the tires, so he's like, after you, sir. you go on down Jess, and then I'll hopefully capitalize if I can stay close enough. And Rico on the same tire life is now right behind him, and well, this is where he took Kaya, and he won't take another. I could have expected it from him, but you never know.
Oh, yeah, it's just never happening. Rico needs to step on the gas if he wants to clear here, because he, of course, did come in very early to do his mandatory. Into the box comes Dan. He is doing a Mando, so that is lap 14. He's in making one of his, and so is Jake. So Jake in off the medium tyres. So Robin's doing a pretty good job at the moment, sticking out there on those soft tyres. Oh, I thought I was just about to tempt fate there, but there is Mick Schumacher, and there is our first safety car of the season. It's taken 13 laps, which is way more than I thought it would. Well, it's into the box for Rico once again. This is another non-mandatory. Of course, these guys can't pit until stage 2, which was lap 21. So the end of that is the fastest I've ever seen a pit crew run out of the garage. As I mean, a fantastic start. That was almost like Cars-esque with how quickly they came out there. But Rico making it out, and Jackocar unfortunately is stuck to a Delta, so he couldn't jump him. Safety car out. We can actually go on board with the safety car, who is going to take us around here in Monaco. Weirdly, the safety car I mean, there's weird lighting in the Mercedes AMG, so it is night. It is a visual glitch, yeah. So ignore that. That's just a Cody's error. Yeah, as you can see, the safety car driver. That's well, he's looking as impressed as we are at the moment in the commentary booth. So safety car out. Who has it picked up? Has it picked up the leaders?
No, not yet, because the leaders have pitted.
So I'm trying to work out where the safety car is on track. It's
on track. It's
the
on the
Novel chicane. So yeah, so it's now being passed by Bazza. I think that was. It's just gone. Yeah, so it's Bazza just.
Where's Mr. John if we need him? Another airborne.
I desperately tried to get that in. What I want to do is Michael.
Under the safety car?
Where's that? He's done it at the back. Oh, and Scott's...
I'm just looking at people to hit him.
Scott's just run directly over the debris as well.
Kaya so far behind, he's not even going to get there. No, he's already gone.
No, he's going to cause his own crash. Yeah, well, it's not been the most fascinating of races to start with, but Yori, what are you thinking? Races coming up, looking at the calendar. And we've got Monaco, China in 2 weeks' time, Portugal. Then we've got the Ked Travitz Invitational Sprint, which is brand new to Jackocar.
That is the one I'm looking forward to. How our Kia Series drivers gonna handle that. 2 races, which is like its own mini championship. Where are you gonna take all the risk to get a win, or are you just gonna settle for 2 second places or 2 third places, gather some points up, and then end up accumulating the most points over the 2 races and therefore winning the event? So I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, that is the standout event. Also, I'm looking forward to Zandvoort because these drivers can't race for shit, so that's gonna be an absolute chaos fest. And Spa to maintain its 100%. Rates to be on the calendar, and yeah, the playoffs is the super speedway to be on the playoffs is something I'm also really looking forward to. We might want to turn damage off for that event, but we'll discuss that internally.
Yes, we will. I mean, it's turned off for Cup, so it would only seem fair to or at least it was put down to reduced. I think it is. It's put down for the Cup series. So we might put it on. We might put it on reduced. I mean, it would
on reduced.
Be hilarious to keep it on simulation because they'd all get floor damage on the first lap. Just to note,
and they'll spin on every winning lap, and we'll end up with 1 or 2 drivers doing 50 laps after 6 laps because they'll all be out after 6.
I can't wait for the competition caution.
They have no idea what they're doing.
Oh, no idea. and it's not gonna work. They're not gonna be able to go too wide. It's gonna be possibly the greatest thing we've ever done in Kia. So yeah, make sure you do tune in for that one. That's round 4, so that's in a month's time.
I'm so happy I'm not a steward for that event.
I know. Yeah,
Imagine being a steward for that event.
I mean, I don't even think we should have stewards for that. I just have it as like it's a battle royale, effectively.
A proper no rules.
Yeah, just full on. Like, as long as you're not driving like a complete twat, then you can do what you want.
No, we encourage driving like a complete twat.
Well, no, because they do already, but as in like let's say an aggressive twat. So if they're not driving like Waste does in Cup. So Rageman, just a note as well, the man that's on his Joker has pitted. So he is now taking these tyres to the end. Of course, he doesn't need to worry about stages. So he doesn't need to pit after lap 21. And the fact that he's now on hard tyres and everyone else has to pit in 4 laps' time, if he can keep it out the wall, he's going to have a lead of, 15, 16 seconds minimum?
Yeah, and also besides that, if you're looking at the tyres, Shep's tyres are already 4 laps older than him. And then it's Leslie on the same tyre. And then it's Harry on 8 lap older tyres. He's not in a bad position there. Then we've got Daniel on relatively fresh softs. He might be on for a charge, but he will not get to the lead with those tyres on this track.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And this is a fascinating call as Waste says, who won stage 1? Dunno. No idea.
I have a guess, Waste.
Yeah, there's one.
We'll lift your ban one race earlier.
Yeah, there's one guy that's led every lap so far this race, so I have no idea who's.
Yeah. It's a really hard question. This.
Yeah. So your guess is as good as mine. But it is now time for Robin Border to get us restarted. And what can he do from the front of this one? Of course, he's going to have to wait to go. He's going to have to wait for the DRS line. That is the restart line. So any time from now, and everyone else behind. Shep is very close, which is not the greatest because this happens. You get completely caught out, and already it's a half a second lead for Shep, who needs to keep us cool in these situations, with Leslie equally sitting quite closely behind as they are filtering in through Saint-Devote through the first corners. Kaya's into the box at the end of the safety car, which... Sure?
Strategic masterclass onto the hards to the end. Oh wait, he can't.
Yes. So that's a call from Kaya to I don't know, hope for a safety car later on in the race.
The Ferrari strategists.
Yeah, so Robin Border has got away from this one. Matt Shepherd in P2, Leslie in P3, Harry P4.
Oh no, I just found out. Is he a lap down already?
1 minute 27. Yes, I believe so.
So he just got out of the way then from people, I guess.
Oh, okay. Maybe he was paying attention. Interesting. That is the first time Kai's actually done something within the rules. Interestingly, Matt Shepherd has caught back up to Rageman, so those medium tyres are still much more of a friend compared to Robin's new hard tyres, which of course, whilst will go to the end, will not benefit him in the short term, because they are quite considerably slower. As up the hill, there's a change of position there between Dan and Harry, so Harry's just been done going up the hill. Loser.
Yeah. He ran a bit deep. I'm not really sure whether, because I couldn't quite see that, but he definitely went deep in the first corner, and Daniel got the run up the hill. So yeah, as you do. And
just to check in, because I know there's a couple of people watching, can you hear us now? Can you hear Yuri? Is Yuri any better? Let us know.
No. Oh, you meant my voice call?
No, well, yeah.
I meant me as a person, because that's a big fan.
We haven't asked your doctor if you're really better. Not since the the operation.
I need a shrink for that.
So yes, he's been on his been on his medication for a while now, but it's not quite working. As Jess leading a trail of Dustin, Jake and Jacko. Harry Collier, after this restart, has picked up a 3-second time penalty after dropping that position on the last lap. Let's go on board with Mr. League Owner here in P9. who didn't want Monaco on the calendar, in fact complained about our calendar, about certain elements of it, purely because he likes watching it in Cup but has no interest in driving it, which is the reason why the Cup Series calendar stays exactly the same season upon season. He doesn't like to differ, does Mr. Ricketts himself.
Yeah, and I've just been paying attention to Lesty, who took a pit stop this lap for arguably a wing change. I don't know. The game was buggy, so he came in and they had a wing ready. They never changed they changed the wing, but he drove out before the animation was completed. So I don't know, but either way, you pitted 2 laps too early. Not really sure whether you've been paying attention to the tweet, and therefore you're not completed on your strategy.
Well, strike 1 to the disqualification list for Mr. Lester. Well, behind Robin, who's now extended that gap out to 2 seconds, we've got Shep. Dan on his debut, currently sitting in P3, but will have to do a pit stop and now let's see if everyone gets this right. At the end of the next lap, not this one. They cannot pit on this lap. It has to be at the end of this lap that they are all completing. So end of 21, they can make their second mandatory stop. What it will do is release Rageman into the wild to be free with his hard tyres and enjoy what will be probably, I'm racking my brains here, probably one of the largest leads that we've had in Jackocar for a long time, especially in the Kia series.
Yeah, even though the field spread is usually massive, the lead is not. The races are usually not won by more than 5 seconds. And if Rageman can keep this up, he'll probably achieve that. But although that being said, there's only one driver who's taken a safety car stop, and that is Lesty. So things are still up for grabs if there's a late safety car. Because if I were Matt Shep, I'd stay out, wait for a safety car, and then try and make my pit stop.
Yeah, interesting to see what these guys do. Do they extend a couple of laps as well? Or is there anyone that's going to possibly risk waiting for a second safety car? There will be one coming. Trust me, it's going to happen. Well, they're saying that they're all. I mean, they're banging off the walls almost every single lap, but they're all seemingly getting away with it at the moment. So everyone has taken their 5-hour energy. They were here in the night time of Monte Carlo, probably wanting to head to the casino after to drown their sorrows away after driving so poorly. But well, at the moment we've got Harry Collier now leading a real train of cars behind him, as Jess, Fozzie, Jake, Jacko, Florian are all sitting there. Bazza picks up a 3-second time penalty as Jake really hassling the back of Dustin into the Lowe's hairpin. And you can see all the cars basically pushing each other around the hairpin there as they try and figure out who's got the right braking point. Turns out it's none of them.
Yeah, there were a little bit some people who wanted to see some gearboxes up close and personal. That being Jake and Jacko, if I saw that correctly. So yeah, really well done for those guys. It is allowed Rico to catch up after he got clear of Baza a couple of laps ago, and it's now a 6-man train, 7-man train, 7-driver train. Anyway, yeah.
I thought you were starting a rap there or something. The 6-man, 7-man train. Oh,
yeah, if you want to, because I can try, but I'll never be as good.
Oh, here is a battle that you wanna watch, Yuri. This is Lesty versus Bazza. The race between no nose cones whatsoever, as they're both flying alongside each other back to the pit lane to serve a pit stop. As look at this as they race into the pit lane and it's Bazza that wins that one. And please be in the same pit stop. Please be in the same garage. That would be. Oh, I think it's gonna be. Oh, that's my evening ruined. But as I would say get overtaken by car, but they don't because he's a lap down. As they both take a front wing, both look like the cars have been in the wars, and parity is restored as Lesty bottles a race once again. Comes out behind Bazza, and that battle can re-engage as Harry Collier clears Kaya now. So Kaya's been lapped down to P11 as Bazza makes it even go from bad to worse, picking up a 5-second time penalty for doing a Pete Knighton and crossing the pit lane exit.
Yeah, you know what would be really handy if the game had like a system in which you get a warning at first, so you know that you shouldn't do that. Yeah, should be really handy. So you be, aware that you're doing naughty things. Anyway, many people opting to pit in the last couple of laps, including Jacko and Rico. And I'm quite surprised Jacko does this, because he was clear on that first safety car. He entered the pits before it was called, so he had it available to him. And Rico probably had to pit because of the tires, as Scott also picks up a really nice penalty.
Yeah, everyone loving those 5 seconds. I mean, Scott's picking up penalties just for fun at the moment, as we've got cars in the box. We have got Jacko, Rico, Dustin and Scott. Front wings are being changed across the board. Scott goes on to softs to take him somewhere, because they're not getting to the end of the race. That's ambitious. Mediums for all the normal people. Your race leader still out there. He's extended that gap up to 7. This lead, Yuri, is going to be massive, because there's 7.6 seconds now and Shep has to pit.
Yeah, but he'll have to soft the tires at the end of the race, and I wouldn't mind to see Robin win with like a huge margin, just to be on the interesting stuff here between Lesty and Scott, as Lesty flies down the inside on Scott on his outlap into turn whatever the hell it is, Casino, and
here we go. VSC, go on, upgrade, make it interesting. Make it interesting, because the others will have to box.
I can't believe we're cheering on a safety car at this stage. Usually you hear Garrett go, "Stay it with me, guys." 4.
We've only had one. I can't believe we've only had one. This is our second VSC. It's looking as though it's not going to upgrade. Kaya is apparently retired on circuit.
The Noble Chicane, if I'm not mistaken.
Who's the... Oh, no, so he is at the Nova Chicane. So I saw he was light blue and so's Jacko.
Well, if you took on my bet, you would have won a 10 quid right now, but hey, you didn't take it.
It's true. Yes, he did say that he was going to try and stay in the race, but there's always next week. Oh, wait, there's no, isn't there? Jacko. As into the box comes Fozzie for his mandatory stop. So
he was already completed, but I'm not really sure what he did, because he pitted on lap 23 and then on 24 again and 5. So
yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So
really interesting strategy there.
He came off of his tyres onto 13 lap old mediums.
Yes.
So really, as Harry picks up a 3-second time penalty, as Baz has come in again. Did we get a penalty for crossing it? Yeah, Baz, you've got to stop crossing that line, mate. And also Dustin behind you did exactly the same. Just take the corner slower, guys. You don't need to razz it out of the pit lane. You can just take it slower. Fozzie, who made a brilliant strategic call to go on to use tyres, has found himself onto new hards.
I think Shep either had a wing change or an issue exiting the pits, because Daniel has jumped him.
Yeah, maybe so, because it must be a wing change, because that's a 2-second gap, so that must have been an end plate or a something change there for Shep. But Shep does look quick. On that last stint, Dan was on softs, and so we'll see now that they're on the same tyre. Will Shep actually be able to catch back up? He was 1.9, so we'll see if that closes down. Of course, Dan is sitting behind Jake, so what that's going to do is effectively get rid of all of the advantage that Dan had jumping matchup in the pit lane. So I can't get my words out.
1.2 seconds here.
I haven't commentated in a few weeks, so apart from last week. But says Jake ruins our fun by staying out or coming in that lap there. But it does mean that Shep is now within that second window. So DRS is available for Shep. However, because the DRS detection is before the final corner, it meant that Dan could use a little bit of DRS with Jake coming in that lap. Yellow flags out for Scott, I believe, coming through the tunnel.
Yes, he led... I think he led the leader by... Yes, he did. Scott's a lap down.
Oh, okay. So that's fine. We're already on lap 27. We've done quite well here so far. I've thought this was going to go way slower than it has, but we're 2/3 of the way through this race, and we've had one safety car, 2 VSCs. We've only lost 4, which we're on course to kind of make Cup look shameful at the moment, because I'm pretty sure in Cup we lost 10 last season. I guess, to be fair, they're all driving around in 3rd gear, so it's quite hard to hit the wall that hard in 3rd gear. But we've got Rageman, who's now leading
Michael,
by...
Kaya managed, so...
True, yeah, well, it's gas. That's a guarantee. So we've got Rageman leading by 26 seconds to Jess, who needs to make a stop herself. So that's then 2 seconds back as Jake picks up 3 seconds. He's down in 8th position on his return to the Kia series. So we're calling the lead is currently sitting at a net 28 seconds for Robin. So unless he's planning on losing, 28 seconds in 12 laps? So he's going to have to lose 2 seconds a lap, if not slightly more than that. 2.6 seconds a lap or so to the guys on the medium tyres. So, well, it's going to be up to Shep and for Dan, Dan's going to go, oh, jeez, hold your breath. He's going to try and make a move around the outside of Jess. Jess kind of lets him, as otherwise I think she thought that he was going to spear her into the wall. Will she let Shep go? No, she's not. So Shep's going to have to think about this one, because he wanted to stay with Dan, but Dan's managed to break away after taking Jess. I wouldn't be surprised to see Jess jump into the pit lane here and get rid of these hard tyres. There she goes. So just what Matt Shepherd would have been wanting, to get caught behind her for the last sort of sector and a half, and lose 2.3 seconds of that gap that he'd closed back up after that slow pit stop.
Yeah, you could just see her. You could just see Jess thinking, like, do I try and stay out for another lap, hope for a safety car, or do I just go in and, because I'm getting overtaken left, right, and center, pretty much. So she decides to go on the set of softs, and wouldn't surprise me if she catches Jacko for that P6 position.
Yeah, because Jacko's been crap tonight so far, to put it politely, isn't he? So will be interesting to see if these guys kind of pick up a little bit and push on, looking at perhaps using Jess on these soft tyres, perhaps moving up some positions, and that gap was 28 seconds. I said it's now down to 25, so that was 3 seconds taken off. Matt Shepherd now is closing back up though, so he'd lost 2.7 seconds. It's now 1.7. So Shep is quick around here. As blue flags are out, so is that 4? It's Bazza. So Bazza getting lapped by P2 and P3 now. So where is Shep going to catch him? As Shep has been managing to catch all the traffic in all the wrong places. So he's going to be thinking, Bazza, please just jump out of the way. There's blue flags all over the shop. Does he do so? Yes, he does. So Bazza just diving out of the way there. And he can now close back in once again on that 1.6 seconds.
It is indeed Daniel who is not hanging about. He's got some clear track, but so does Robin at the moment. The next car Robin will lap is Leslie, who's been having a great night so far. Down in P10, 12 lap old hards, slowly gaining on Rico, so don't count him out for another position and therefore an extra point, but it is a bit boring at the moment. At least there's not a lot of field spread, eh?
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Someone put it in the wall. We've got about 2 laps for you to put it in the wall so we get a safety car, because that would shake things up. I mean, you'd feel for Rageman, who might be, who might actually become the next Joker winner, and also our second consecutive Monaco race where the Joker has won. Of course, wasted it last season. I'm sure he'll be. Yeah, I'm sure he'll tell us all about it. No one cares, because look at the standard. But the least popular man in Cup, has been flooding the chat with comments, wanting to be
Oh, I
popular.
thought you meant the Gov Series chat.
Oh well, with nonsense. But 31 to 39, Rageman from Dan, from Shep, from Florian. So two of our rookies in the top 4 at the moment. So good outing for those guys. Of course, we seemingly have this where the rookies come in, do well in their first race, and then kind of fall away a little bit, because we've had, of course, who was it last season in Hungary? We had. Was it Dustin on his debut in?
Either Dustin or Scott.
Yeah, it was. Oh, definitely wasn't
V3.
Scott. I think it was Dustin. Came in because didn't he beat Quinn on a time penalty?
Yes.
So yeah, that was Dustin's on his debut.
A much celebrated victory in the box, to be fair.
Yes, it was. As any time that Quinn loses a race to anyone was always a cause for celebration.
Well, it's pretty close between either Waze or Quinn, so in that scenario, you cheer on a massive airplane crash.
Oh, come on, Lesty, or is it Rico? It's Rico. Rico, do us all a favour. As behind him, Lesty's having a torrid race, going on to hards in 10th position. As you see there, he's trying to drive into the pit boards that are being hung over the side, and perhaps pick up a more severe head injury than he's already got. And well, up in front towards 6th position, we've got the other man that suffers with a head injury. It's Jacko, who the man that wanted to win the Championship 5 last time around, did absolutely nothing around Belgium, and well, he is now, as we've got yellow flags kind of popping up locally around the circuit. I think that's for Scott. So cars being lapped. In fact, let's just show you the intervals between the leaders, so you can see a lap around here is what, a 1 minute 12 in qualifying. So that's probably what, a 1 minute 15 in the race. Jacko is now on the back of Harry. Jacko with the fastest lap, which shows that he can actually race around here, but he's just deciding against it.
Well, he can't race. He's just quick over a lap.
That's true. He's Quinn. And Wace. It's a Kia thing.
Oh, Jacko, you're such a Danny Quinn.
As it's Kia syndrome, isn't it? Or just obliterate TT and then think you're quick, and then get up and race normal human beings and realise that you're incompetent. As Jacko currently sits there in P6, 36 seconds off the back of Rageman. Shep is now dropping back, so he had closed to a couple of seconds. It's now back to 4 seconds. So has he resigned himself to, whilst it is a podium, perhaps not the step that he was hoping for? As the field spread is very much looking like the colours of the rainbow. However, everyone, apart from Jacko and Harry, in different atmospheres to each other.
Oh, I should have gone. I thought time zones, but atmospheres is more accurate, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are probably doing time trial for China already. They're that far behind. So,
I mean, Kaya, Michael, Mick, and Liam.
They just wanted to get out of it early. They wanted to avoid the shame of getting around this one.
Well, so did King and Thomas and Paul, to be fair.
As Kaya says in the comments, I slightly tapped the wall and lost the wing and tyre. I mean, slightly was the other 50 times over one lap that you're also tapping the wall. So eventually, if you bang something hard enough, eventually it will break. It's not to be for Kaya in his return to Kia is here in Monaco, but of course we did see a fantastic qualifying lap from him, which, don't worry, I'm sure I'll be able to replicate that and bring you some more fantastic qualifying laps from some of these guys throughout the season as we progress. So that 35 of 39, Robin Border is cantering to victory here on his Joker as Fozzie and Scott trade positions for 11th and 12th position. Scott kind of just waving him by at this point and waving the circuit goodbye as he goes into Nico Rosberg's parking spot, reverses out on circuit. Yep, you can turn here. No flat spins are allowed for the Hayes household, as the man that on the day of his race at Monaco decided to completely take his steering wheel apart to literally to the nuts and bolts of the motherboard.
We're not talking about like the base. It's the actual wheel that he decided to take apart.
As I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Is tyres out. Rico's just made a stop, so he dropped down behind Lesty. Lesty, of course, is going to get disqualified because unless he pits in for a set of softs shortly.
No, you and Waze had the same ID. Lesty pitted on lap 22 to fit that hard compound tires, which he started on.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
My mistake.
So he's good.
He's still crap though. He's still in 9th position. He should be winning this race.
No, he should be at least second right now because Robin is doing the best job he could ever do, rightfully and deservedly up there in P1. Lesty should have been behind him in P2. I'm hugely disappointed with him.
What can Jacko do? Jacko's still just sitting, kind of sniffing Harry Collier's back end. Is he gonna man up and actually make a move, or is he just gonna sit here and there we go? It took Harry deciding to kiss the Armco to allow Jacko through. Jacko will clip that one, and it will go on the reels for the foreseeable future of what a move I've just made around Monaco. As Harry now drops into P6, which I'm sure he'll be slightly disappointed with because he was running quite nicely up towards the podium earlier in this race, but falling back a little bit now is 36 is about to come 37 for Robin Border. Just 3 more laps left to go for the man on his Joker to take a dominant victory here. As that's got to be sobering for Scott to allow his work colleague through to lap him. As Jacko passes through with Harry to lap Scott. As Scott taking the line of, well, I'll just get to the end, is what he did last time of trying to get to the end. Although saying that, I'm pretty sure, didn't Scott crash out on like the last lap at Monaco last season? And I'm pretty sure, didn't he? He was, but I'm almost certain that Scott was like 3 laps down and then crashed out with like a lap left to go.
For a second, I wasn't really listening to anything you said because the Dutch torpedo nearly struck again.
Oh.
Rico was eyeing up a attempt at the fastest lap, and he caught up to the leader. In the hairpin, tried to at the corner after the hairpin, the right-hander, he tried to launch it down the inside of Raceman, nearly spinning him around. Luckily, it went okay, but damn.
All super normal things for the Rico then.
Very.
Look how slowly he's going, trying to charge his battery.
Yeah, and then now
go on in.
Dustin is nearly on the back of
Go on then, Mr. Beckenkamp. Well, you want to get the fastest lap. Let's sit on board with you as Dustin drops out the session. Let's see how quick you can be with the world watching Rico.
The world being 12 people actually.
Yeah, I was hoping for more, but
well, I think it's a nice increase with the amount of work you've put in.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping now that people know that it's actually a thing, that they might come back and they actually might be able to hear you next week. Now I've literally played around with every setting and apparently it now works. So
Way said it's way better now.
Yeah, so apparently one of us did something. Who knows what?
You probably, because I done fuck all.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's just your commentary. Rico making his way down to the Nova chicane here, left. Through, flick it over the right, try and use as much curb as you can. How quick is he through to back? He's on the button. Not a bad line here. He's got to beat Jacko. I think Jacko's currently sitting on the fastest lap so far, so it can't be that hard to beat it.
Well, he's going to increase his own fastest lap by 1.3 seconds, so...
As Shep picks up a 3-second time penalty and will lose the podium with that. Because we're now on the final lap of the race. Rageman's making his way around. And, Rico doesn't get the fastest lap. So let's go on board with your leader, who has led this one from flag to flag. He survived a safety car. He's managed to lead. I think this might be. He's not going to get the fastest lap, so he's not going to get the Grand Slam. But this might be the only time this season that we see someone take pole, lead every lap, and take the win. Surely it's not going to happen. I don't know actually. I don't know if Waste did it last season. I'm sure he'll tell us if he did. But as I'm looking down at the comments as well, so just kind of mumbling there for a second. I'm going to get back into commentary. I've not done it for a couple of months, apart from the Vettel one of the end of 2 weeks last week, I think, something like that. But final two corners for Rageman 32. Robin Border taking a race win here in Kia. I don't think he's done it before. If not, what a win for him. 21 seconds for Rageman. Fantastic result. Up to the final few corners for Dan. Daniel P. Wilnut on debut on the podium here in Kia. Fantastic result from him. Puts himself up in the conversation. If you can do it around Monaco, you can do it anywhere. So Dan to the line with P2. Bazza's taking a heap of penalties. Shep's going to lose the podium. But that means we've got a double rookie podium with Florian Meyer making it a P3 for him. Matt Shepard drops down to P4, which I'm sure he'll be gutted with. Jacko in a lonely P5. Harry Collier's dropped down behind Jess, who gets a decent P6 for her. Jake is going to come home with Leslie behind him. So Jake up to the line now. He's going to come home in P8. Scott crosses the line with 1 million seconds of penalties. Jake is going to hold P8 because Leslie's too far behind for anything to do on those hard tyres. Of course, Rico, Fozzie, Scott and Bazza were all a lap down. So it means that Matt Lester, you're going to end the race and complete Monaco. Everyone can take a breather and know that this one is done for another season. However, just be noted, Jacket's driver of the day. That's why we ignore anything inside this game because it doesn't know what it's talking about. Just prepare yourselves because Monaco may return at some point for a exciting race.
Doesn't involve the number 13.
Does it? I'm just put,
Okay.
just spoilers, as one would say.
So sometimes I feel less conversation about the track calendar because
Well, you never.
Supposedly we do it together, but
I know. It's a collaborative event, and of course, it's a conversation that's been had. But Monaco has always been a track that only the best drivers have conquered, and that one tonight is Rageman. It's Ron Border who goes and does it in 51 minutes, 49 seconds, and 9.59 milliseconds. He goes from flag to flag, leading every lap on his Joker. He takes home not only the 5 points for the race win, but 5 bonus points for winning on his Joker. So that is a massive start to the season for him, and takes home points for leading for pole position and leading the most laps. So almost, apart from the fastest lap, a perfect evening for H-Man.
Yeah. You want to hear something funny? Besides the fact that he's already through to the playoffs, of course, he can just sit back and try and accumulate as many playoff points as he can. He is now 9 clear in the regular season standings. Because Robin got pole, Robin got stage 1, stage 2, and he led the most laps. Because it's not even there's no calculator required to do that because he led all the laps. So, as you mentioned before, except for fastest lap, that's as close as you can get to the full 35 points you can win.
Well, congratulations. What a result for him, as the German will be very happy with himself. And he is a double rookie podium as well with Dan in P2 and Florian in P3. So those guys, I'm sure, will be delighted. Well, we're back in Kia. So, thanks for joining us. Sorry for any technical difficulties. Of course, this is brand new for me, brand new for Yuri as well. So there's going to be random gremlins here and there. We'll get them sorted. We'll get everything fixed for next time around. Hopefully we'll have a formation lap on so that we can actually build up to the race rather than just loading straight in from the break. But yes, thank you very much for joining us, Yuri. A week off already. We've earned it, haven't we?
Oh, I'm so glad that we can have another week off. Can we just the Cup Series has this massive calendar. Can we just do Kia Series every other week?
Yeah, why not? We'll do it like the actual Formula One. And then we'll have like a really long break in the middle of it.
Yeah, and then we'll do a triple header.
But the triple header involves actually doing 3 races in one night. 50% races in one evening.
No, 335.
No. 350. I want them to be hurting by the end of it, like in physical pain.
If that's the case, let's do 3 100% races then. We'll start at 5. We'll finish at 11 or so.
Well,
should be fine.
Yeah, we'll see how well that one goes. But do join us in a couple of weeks' time. We will be back for the Chinese Grand Prix. It's going to be coming up on the 27th of February. Well, will we see Rageman extending this lead that he has already built? Will we see some of the other guys that perhaps didn't have the greatest of races, the Jackos, the Matt Lesters, the Harrys, Liam as well, crashing out this one tonight? Will they come back and have a slightly better run next time out? But thank you very much for joining us. My name's Gareth Hall. I've been joined by Yuri Hasselager. We will both now mute our microphones because otherwise we'll be heard slagging you all off. Or we could, to be fair, we could just keep them on normal and it makes no difference to usual during the stream. But if not, we will see you on the 27th of February.
See you next week.